On the Fan, back with Benji Marshall, now former player. Like it is serious. You are now just former player. That is in the rearview mirror.
Been for a few years, actually.
Yeah, but you make me feel really old. Like
I am.
Schoolboy footy player, now entire career played, went into veteran class, now coach.
I know. What's wrong with me?
And you've got a bit of Benjamin Button about you. You've gone a little bit younger, I think. No?
It's probably because I've been training with the lads.
Yeah.
But no, it's been good. Really enjoying it.
Well, can we just say, because we never really got an opportunity at the end of the career, we've loved everything you've done for the Fan over the years, like some really good contributions. We had some...
It's great.
I remember doing a Q&A with you out here, and you told us a story about Brett Hodgson post-05 grand final with Tim Sheens.
Pouring the drink over him.
Pouring the drink over him. Yeah, great moments. Gave us greatest insight.
Mate, I'll tell you another one. We're a Balmain Leagues club, and Chris Hyington was so blind from celebrating. So blind. One of the greatest Balmain players of all time came up to congratulate him, Paul Sirinen.
Right.
And Heine goes, Ciro, have this, and poured a schooner, full schooner.
Right.
Straight over top of his head.
Right.
And to Ciro's credit, he just copped it and went, congratulations, Heino. But to Heino's detriment, his missus took him straight home and he had to finish celebrating that night.
Okay, tell me another one. John Scandalis' father kissing David Gallup or something along those lines.
It was mad.
Yeah.
No, mate, honestly, the party went on forever. We're still partying.
All right, well, let's not forget the playing career in a hurry. Okay, you've been good enough to come on the program this week. Fans have been in touch with us about some moments they want to relive of Benji Marshall, and it's been a recurring theme across the years of your career.
Right.
So we want to put it in your words, these moments, now that it is done and dusted.
Okay, geez.
Sydney Football Stadium, Tigers v Eels, a round-the-back pass to Blake Aisha.
Oh, that one.
It might be a very, very costly one. Marshall got rid of Reddy, went around Robson, got the ball away. It's costly, all right.
I don't know how to describe this. I couldn't believe it when I saw it first. I can't believe it watching it now.
I remember that game for probably the wrong reasons. We lost for starters, and Jared Hayne, I think he did a chip and chase at the end to score a try.
Sure.
And then Taniela Tuiaki was the last game he played when he broke his ankle that day. So Blake Ashford wasn't even supposed to be on the wing. But anyway, I remember, I think they made an error, and Tim Sheens' number one thing on errors is shift the ball straight away.
Okay.
So it goes one pass, two pass, and they get it to me. And I think Reddy might have come out of the line, and I sort of shrugged him off. And whoever was centre with me, might have been Chris Lawrence, dropped under me just naturally, and for some reason, I had in my head just show and go.
Okay.
So like Tim used to teach us, turn your body and hide the ball.
Yep.
And I think maybe Jeff Robson stopped and took the dummy. And then I'm running to the try line, and for some reason, honestly, I could have just passed it normally. Like this is how stupid I was at the time.
No.
I'm thinking Blake H was there. I think Eric Groth might have been the winger. And for some reason, I went, usually flick passes the other way. But I went around and behind my back that way.
Yeah.
Which is not the usual way. And probably just lucky it came off.
Well,
and when I threw it at the time, to be honest, I didn't realise how, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I didn't realise how tough that is to do. Like that pass in the moment.
It was an audacious play.
I know, it was stupid. I shouldn't have done it. But it came off, and if it didn't come off, it would have been dramas.
Here's a happy memory for me, Campbelltown commentary, and I'm with Gus at the time calling, and we sort of preempted there could be a field goal before half-time here. There could be a field goal. In commentary, we're building up. You delivered. Remember that?
I do.
Watch Farah here. Goes back to Marshall. He'll take a shot from 50 out. Here we go, Gussie. Here we go, Marshall. Oh! It's over! Marshall has kicked it from halfway. Wow! Give us another one, Gus. Wow! What about that? 50 metres and a half an inch. Hail Mary! Goodness gracious me, off the crossbar and over. Well, that'll do me. Well, go home. What a finish to the first half.
For some reason, I think it was 6-6 at halftime, and I just thought, I might as well have a crack. What's there to lose? 3 seconds, they threw it from the right side. Typically, as a right-footed kicker, you get the pass on the left side. It's easier to kick. And I got it from the right side. It was a bit of a shit pass. And from one step, from about 51, I just kicked it the hardest. And watched it, hit the upright and just went over.
Crossbar.
And, crossbar, sorry. And Preston Campbell, for some reason I remember under it. And it went over. And I got one regret about that. I wish I celebrated things more. I had this smug face on my, like the smug look on my face where I was just like, you know what, the game's not over. You just got to get off and don't like go to. I wish I'd smiled a bit more.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The footwork. Now the speed. Then passes without looking. Cronulla. 05.
All my mates.
You know that moment.
Across with Hodgson. Now they're going to go a little wider. Prince ball back for Marshall. The footwork. Benji Marshall. Now the speed. The footwork again. Away from Peachy. Passes without looking. Away for Richards. Back to Fitzhenry. That is as good as you will see on a Sunday afternoon anywhere in the National Rugby League. Benji Marshall has sent the Tigers fans into a frenzy. Even the Sharks fans are applauding that. How good was that, Sterlo?
You want to sign this kid up?
Yeah. When you say, I don't know, could possibly take us back to that day, but when the run starts, do you have any idea where the runner's going to finish, or were you totally off the top of your head?
I remember on the day, Hodjo sent a message and said, we're too close to the ruck, let's get a little bit wider. Okay. So let's have like a couple of passes. And I think it went Hodjo, Princey, and Princey, we got this rule if someone creeps into your lane, you got to drop under. So naturally, I just sort of dropped under. And from playing touch growing up, I always would like step someone, then someone would come across and like save it, and step the saver, then step the next saver, and just keep doing it and throw it to the winger. Anyway, for some reason, they were chasing really hard, stepped them. The second guy was coming hard, stepped him again and stepped him again. Threw a dummy, I think, and then got to David Peachy, gooseyed around him, and then I don't know why. I could have just passed it looking, but for some reason I was doing stupid shit back then.
Wow.
And I passed it without looking, and then he threw it back into Fitzhenry, I think.
That was an amazing, like I took license and said even the Sharks fans were applauding, but I think they were.
Yeah,
I think they were. I mean, you've got to be proud of moments like that, that your kids can watch that back in years and years to come.
Yeah, I tried to show my son some highlights the other day. Didn't want to borrow it. 5 years old. Who cares, Dad?
Yeah, okay. He wants to watch Tom Trbojevic and others.
Probably.
Okay. Leichhardt Oval, special place, dear to your heart. Golden Point game 2012.
2012.
These Sharks.
Oh, round one.
Come on, West Tigers fans, let's make some noise.
Benji Marshall the winner. The touchdown from 37 out. Benji Marshall has been hot and cold today, but he is very hot when it matters most. Benji wins it for the Tigers.
Fresh, does that come back?
It does, I remember it, I set up and I knew Bryce Gibbs, who used to play with us. I could hear him. He was at Mark and he's quite a sledger. He said, I'm coming for you. Like, I could hear him. I'm going to get you. And he was coming with pressure. And I kicked it and he partially charged it down.
Yeah.
It hit his fingers. Yeah. It was going to go 50 over. Like, I smashed it. Anyway, come off and made it. And I remember running back doing these ones and the whole team jumped on top of me. And I had real bad shoulders. I almost dislocated my shoulder from all the boys jumping on top of me. But another great moment.
Did Bryce have any response to the kick going over?
He couldn't say anything. He just stayed on the ground.
He stayed on the ground. Okay. Yeah. And now we build up to the big one, ladies and gentlemen, Academy Award stuff. Like, the most requested moment, I think, now. It used to be back in the day, the 94 miracle try. People wanted to see that. There were moments like that, Eric Groth semi-final try. There's moments in rugby league, Darren Albert try, that above others are requested. But the number one is the flick pass in 05.
Thurston, right foot kick, down the ground, into the in goal almost. Hodgson cuts it off. Hodgson taken by Norton. He took him late. Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside. Richards pursued. He pushes Jensen away. Pat Richards has scored a magnificent try. Length of the field stuff.
Oh, that is one of the great grand final tries.
With a passing of time.
Yeah.
What the hell were you doing in a grand final producing that play, Benji? Can you believe it?
It was crazy.
Like,
yeah. So, like,
should it have happened?
The way it panned out, no. So I dislocated my shoulder early on in the season, and it was a pretty bad chance of popping back out. So I defended on the wing, which is not usually where I stand. I know Thurston kicked it down to the right corner, and I was winging. Hodjo picked it up. I think Travis Norton chased real hard out of the line, and I went around Hodjo and just saw the space. And usually I try and step someone, but for some reason I just accelerated through it. David Fayumi was coming across, so goose stepped him, and out the corner of my eye I thought, I'm going to take Matt Bowen on here. And I thought I had him, but I didn't. I goose stepped him, and I could just see like Pat Richards like in the corner, wave 45 degrees up the like peripheral vision.
And it's only a glimpse of him you would have seen.
I could just see him coming.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about it, I'll be honest. But I goose stepped, took off, and like threw it. And then I didn't know if he caught it. And then when I looked back, he caught it. And I tried to double back around again to get it back in case he gave it. But then obviously his massive fend, the forgotten fend people talk about. Without that, that's nothing, you know. So Pat Richards shouldn't even played that day. He broke his leg against St George in the semi-final. Had 21 needles to play.
Yeah.
So really it shouldn't have happened.
No.
Crazy.
No, that moment, as I've told before on this show, I was in the lift. I was the only person at the ground who didn't see the try live.
No way.
Like, I've got to the halftime show and I haven't seen what happened. Like, moments like that, our viewers have watched it back literally 1,000 times.
Crazy.
Immodestly, how many times have you watched it? Or is it accidental, or do you,
no, not
did
as
you
many
go
as
back
you
to it?
think.
Not as, no?
No.
When it comes on, it's...
The thing that probably about that is I've been doing that since I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And it was just another time that I did it, just on a bigger stage. And, you know, I practiced it so much that in those moments it would come off. And thankfully it did.
Well, that's what Sheensy said at the time, didn't he, 05? Unless you do it at training, you're not doing it in a game.
I think I threw something like 15 or 16 flick passes in my whole career, and only one hit the ground.
Yeah.
In games.
Nice.
So, pretty good strike rate.
Okay. Because we have you on the show now as coach, is any part of you miss the playing side?
Oh, I do,
Yeah.
I do.
Because you look, I'm looking at you. You look fit enough. I don't know how the shoulders are internally.
But I think, you know, with our coaching staff, we've got a pretty young coaching staff. And if there's people missing from the drills, we actually jump in and do it with them.
Yeah.
But crazy enough, you miss the contact.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like a really big contact guy, but you miss that and crave that. And I think to play our game, you sort of have a bit of a screw loose a little bit. And I still got it a bit.
Okay, the very last statement, because it may be the last time you ever get asked about. The sideburns when you were at school.
Yeah.
Was that, did you really think that was cool? Like those sideburns you had at the Keebra Park?
Every hairdresser that I went to wanted to cut them.
Yeah.
Like my mum wanted me to cut them.
Yeah.
It was my thing. It was my trademark, and I actually thought they were mad.
Yeah.
And the moment I shaved them off, I actually wish I shaved them earlier.
Yeah.
But hey, those sideys were hectic.
And that first interview we ever did in Suncorp Stadium.
I love how you're taking all the credit for finding me.
The gazelle, you step, you jump up, you didn't know which foot you're going to land
Every
on.
story that you've ever told me is that you unearthed me and found me.
Gus, it was the first time Gus ever said, wow, was when he saw you.
That's why you're doing this now, because you know.
Benji Marshall on the Fan, ladies and gentlemen.